Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to today's Caffeine for the Soul. And if you like this conversation and want to go deeper, check out our Inner Circle Platinum at michaelneill.org. And it's a membership where we get to hang out. We have a few calls every month. You get lots of free access to all our online programs. And it's just sort of, I consider it like if you want to dive in the deep end, join the Inner Circle Platinum. So check that out. But today, what we're going to talk about is what I think of as the infinite well. And another way of talking about it is, what's the difference between thinking about something and reflecting or contemplating something? And while there's not one strict definition, here's what I've seen that I found helpful, and the infinite well as a metaphor will make sense of it. So when we think about something, when we try to figure something out, we're essentially looking inside our brains. So we're looking for what's already there. And if the answer is already there, for example, if I ask you your phone number, you probably can just tell me your phone number. If I ask you your name, I'm sure you can tell me your name, your address. In other words, there's things that are in there. But those things that are in there usually come pretty quickly, or worst case, they're on the tip of your tongue. Whereas there are questions that nothing comes quickly. It's like there are facts that you can just Google and you'll get the same answer wherever you go. And then there are a lot of questions where if you Google it, you'll get about 750 different answers. Like the difference between, what's the how many kilometers from Prague to London versus what's the best way to tell somebody that you love them. Like one of them, you're going to get the same answer every time. The other one, you're going to get a different answer pretty much every time, depending on who you talk to and even when you talk to them. So if a question that you have on your mind doesn't lend itself to figuring it out, if the answer isn't already sitting in your brain, to keep going to your brain, to keep trying to figure it out is kind of like searching around in a drawer for something that isn't in the drawer. You can look forever, but you're never going to find it there. Now, fortunately, we have a capacity to go beyond our intellect and tap into a larger intelligence. Einstein sort of said, I want to know God's thoughts. The rest is details. Well, we have access through our minds to information that we just couldn't otherwise know, to answers that are perfect for us, even though we would never have come up with them on our own just by thinking about them. And the process for that, I like to think of as reflection. Sometimes, like I said, people call it contemplation, or sometimes I talk about it as the infinite well. So in order to get an idea of the infinite well, imagine that there's a well outside your home, and you if you look down it, you can't, it's just blackness. You can't see anything down there. But you're pretty sure there must be something down there. So one day you decide to lower the bucket. And at first nothing happens, but sure enough, at a certain point you feel a kind of a tug, like the bucket's hit something. And you draw it back up and there's water in it. You realize, it looks like there's nothing down there. But if I lower my bucket into the well, something comes up. Now, the infinite well of consciousness is like that. When you first look, it's like, I don't know. But then if you sit with it, if you give it a minute, often it doesn't even take a minute. It takes about 10 seconds in my experience. Suddenly answers start to come. So it's almost like you can lower a question in the bucket, and what comes up will be the perfect answer. But exactly how long it takes to come up might vary a bit because it's an infinite well. So how do you do that in practice? Well, there's sort of two modes in which we can use our mind. One is the active thinking, figuring it out, which can be very helpful for certain things. It's a very real-time phenomenon. But if you're looking for something where there isn't a right answer, reflecting is using your mind in a more receptive way. So instead of actively trying to do stuff with it, you're letting things come to you. You're giving space for the bucket to go all the way down and then come all the way back up. So effectively, you're quieting your mind as best you can. And then in the quiet of your mind, you're considering a question. You're considering a situation. You're considering a possibility. And before long, things will start to occur to you about that situation, about that question, about that whatever it is that you're considering. And the easiest way to experience this for yourself is to experience this for yourself. So what I encourage you to do is jot down a few questions that you'd like insight into. You'd like to see something more about. It might be a situation where you don't know what to do and you want to know what to do. It might be a situation where you suspect there's a better way of doing things than the way you've been doing them. It might be a particular question where you're looking for what's the best way for me to be in this situation. And when you've got a few, take one and as best you can, in whatever way occurs to you, let your mind settle. Don't try to figure out the answer. Don't try to make up an answer. Just get quiet. And when you kind of feel a little bit quiet, a little bit still, just consider the question. You can wonder about it. I wonder what else I could do. I wonder what I haven't thought of yet. I wonder what hasn't occurred to me yet. And see what comes. And you might need to give it more than 10 seconds. You certainly probably need to give it more than 1 second. You say, well, I tried it, didn't work. But if you sit with it, if you reflect on it, if you let it come to you, you're going to be surprised, delighted, and sometimes even amazed at how there is no question to which you can't find an answer if you're willing to go to the infinite well. Have fun, learn heaps, happy experimenting, and I will talk with you soon.